There is no way I'm going to get through this entire PowerPoint in 5 minutes, so I'm just going to kind of talk over it while I'm looking at it. I expect you to look at all the slides very carefully. I hate PowerPoint. Hopefully you hate PowerPoint, but this is the best way to print. And I think some of these, I try to make these pages useful in a way that maybe Prezi couldn't be in terms of printing. So MLA, Modern Language Association, APA, American Psychological Association. Each group has different rules for how to cite outside research. You know that the Purdue Online Writing Lab is helpful. There are also the bit.ly bundles that I've linked to in Angel. But when I'm grading your research project, ooh, look how fancy, I'm going to be using the writer's FAQ to break any ties. It is our Bible, so to speak. Okay? Hopefully you know this, but you have to give credit to outside sources. Anything that isn't common knowledge to you. Your common knowledge is different from mine. I know a ton about running. I know about VO2 max and when the body breaks down at 15 miles versus how the body breaks down at 20 miles. I know all that stuff off the top of my head. You have your own specialized knowledge base as well. Anything that you don't know off the top of your head, you have to give credit to. You have to. Otherwise, you're making yourself liable to accusations of stealing people's ideas, and you don't want to be an idea thief. So anything that is an outside source, you have to give credit to. So the two basic components of citation are in text and the acknowledgement page. So in MLA, it's called works cited, and APA, it's called references. Okay, this is a scholarly activity, so that's a big part of what I want to do in this class is get you to see yourselves as scholars, as burgeoning early scholars. So I don't know, does that mean get some patches on your jackets, maybe grow a beard like I have? I don't know. All right, so when you quote, I prefer right here exact quotes much more to paraphrases and summaries, just because there's a clear border between your language and your source's language. So you can summarize sometimes if it's a lengthy passage, kind of put it in your own words. And paraphrasing is taking, especially if you have just like lots of raw data. People that write it with numbers, they don't tend to put much poetry behind it. If you want to make it sound a little better, that's completely your call. In-text citation leads readers to the works cited page or the references page, and then that page leads your reader to the original source. I need to be able to find your sources in the same way you did, and so that's why your citations need to be correct. Okay, here's where I'm going to speed up. Author intros are great. Tell me who your source is and why I should care about their credentials. Okay, usually credentials means where they work, what they do, one or the other. So if someone is a professional film critic like Mark Kermode, who has an awesome podcast, by the way, then you should tell me that he's the BBC film critic. That's a very prestigious position. He's not just some schlub giving movie reviews out there. Okay, so quote intros, very important. In-text citations for electronic sources, there are no page numbers. That's what they look like for your non-page sources, I guess. Block quotes, try not to quote more than 40 words. Okay. Indirect sources, you use quoted it in MLA. This is an MLA thing, but if you use it in APA, I'm not going to be too mad either. You're always better off finding the original research. If you need to add words or take words out of a quote, this is how you do it. Again, clearly introduce in the body of your paper, so I don't have to wonder who is Frere Jones. I don't know. Oh, he's the movie critic for New Yorker? Oh, well, or I'm sorry, the music critic for the New Yorker? Oh, that's interesting to me. That's credibility. Okay, so introduce who your author is. Tell me why I should care about them. Otherwise, I'm not going to care about them. Quotes should always be in present tense. That means S verbs. Stay away from says unless your article is talking to you. You're not listening to the article. So when you say so-and-so says, they didn't really say it. They wrote it. So use better verbs. What kind of verbs? Hey, look, here's a whole list. All right, so that's in-text citations. The end page, I only have a minute left to talk about. A lot of the stuff is very easily found online. As I'll show you the rules here, there are lots of websites out there. I've gone over this in the past that will help you make sure your citations are correct. So italicize quotes. I'm going back for a second. That's actually an important slide. You italicize the titles of big things. You put smaller things in quotation marks. Contain and container. I was taught that, and it always stuck. Hang indent, hit enter and tab. I know Google Docs isn't always perfect. Don't forget that I know that. All right, so physical articles, here's a couple samples. Electronic sources, you want to find all the stuff. If your source doesn't have an author, completely shady, complete red flag. All right, so here it is from Google News. Here's an example. Here's an example. Oh, look, the EBSCO will do it for you if you click on the cite button. How cool. No URLs in MLA. Quick help. Use your brain. I can't believe I got through this in 5 minutes. Check me out. All right.